Hi, I'm Mike and I'm the All Hallows Geek, and welcome to This Week in Eek, my weekly series where I put a little eek in your week by recapping some of the top stories in Halloween and horror news from the last week. Alright, I want to start out this week's episode with a story that has been 2 years in the making, and it's one that's brought me so much joy. Honestly, if you followed the site for a few years, you might recall back in 2020 that I shared the story of a Belgian Lego builder, Amber Vape, who had submitted her first ever Lego set design to Lego Ideas in hopes of getting it turned into an actual licensed Lego product. Her design? The Sanderson sisters' cottage from Hocus Pocus. The nearly 3,000 piece set quickly gained the 10,000 supporters needed to be considered as an actual product, but the first time around it was ultimately rejected. Determined to make her dream a reality, Vate went back to the drawing board and submitted an updated design of the set in 2021. The updated design included adjustments to the cottage's scale and color scheme and features an improved water wheel which you can turn using the crank inside the cottage, and it also was updated to have a hinged design that allowed you to easily reveal the interior of the cottage. While this set again gained the 10,000 supporters needed in 2021 to be considered as an actual product, and apparently Vate's perseverance paid off. The updated design wowed the review board, and this week LEGO Ideas announced that the set will become an actual product. The final design, pricing, and availability of the set have obviously not yet been announced, but just knowing this is finally going to become a thing, it's so exciting, especially knowing how much hard work Amber put into this. You know, I chatted with her through email a little bit after her second submission, and she talked about, you know, the adjustments she made and the improvements and how she was always tinkering with it and was, you know, this was a dream of hers to really make this a reality, and finally 2 years later she kept at it, and that dream's a reality. So congrats to Amber. I can't wait to see the final product. As Lego collector and a Hocus Pocus fan, you know this thing is going to be hot. It's going to go quick. So if you're like me, keep an eye out for when this thing gets announced, because you know people are going to scoop it up fast. Alright, well, we're 2 weeks on from the premiere of Stranger Things 4 Volume 2, so Stranger Things news has to have dried up by now, right? Not quite, my dudes. Not only has the series spawned an epic TikTok duet with Joseph Quinn and Metallica, it has now spawned a mashup with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's right, the heroes in a half shell are teaming up with the heroes of Hawkins to fight crime with new action figure sets from Playmates. The new figures team up Eleven and Hopper from Stranger Things with Leonardo and Raphael from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The 6-inch figures will be available in 2 sets, with Eleven teamed up with Leonardo and Hopper teamed up with Raphael. Both turtles are newly sculpted and based on the 1984 Eastman and Laird comic book, while Eleven and Hopper are inspired by their looks from Stranger Things 3. The Leonardo and Eleven set features Leonardo with his signature katana swords, waffle throwing star, and 1980s portable cassette player, and Eleven comes outfitted in her jeans with suspenders and dark blue multicolored blouse with a backpack, flashlight, and 1980s handheld phone. In the Raphael and Hopper set, Raphael comes complete with his signature twin sai, waffle throwing stars, and a 1980s portable cassette player, while Hopper comes outfitted in jeans and his iconic Hawaiian shirt from Stranger Things 3, and comes with his handgun, baseball bat with nails, axe, and flashlight. Both sets are available for pre-order now, exclusively from Target for $39.99. And this week marks the end of the first full week of Halloween hunting season, and last Friday, Bath & Body Works kicked off the season with a member-exclusive early access sale of its 2022 Halloween collection. The early access sale featured over 40 items that range from soaps and lotions to candles and fragrance plugs, and I featured over a dozen highlights from the event over at allhallowsgeek.com, but I figured I'd showcase a couple of my favorite items here rather than present all of them. So first up, this noise-making witch hand soap holder was definitely one of my favorites. When you pump the soap, it plays the sound of a witch cackling for a total of 20 seconds to let you know when you've washed your hands long enough. Admittedly, the novelty of this will probably wear off pretty quick, but our initial concept, I dig it. I think it looks cool, and I think it'd be kind of fun. And then I'd throw it out a window because I'd be tired of hearing a witch cackle. And the second one is this glow-in-the-dark skull candle holder. I recognize it's nothing fancy. I just really like the skull designs and the glow-in-the-dark look. That said, unfortunately, the early access sale was only for 24 hours, so you'll have to wait a bit longer until this stuff starts popping up in stores. But if you want to see some of the other highlights, be sure to check out my full coverage over on allhallowsgeek.com. And nothing says Halloween shopping season is upon us more than news from Spirit Halloween. And this week we got some exciting updates. First, Spirit has teased Experiment 1031 via a series of short, grainy video clips on social media. When the first clip premiered, Spirit sent users to a page on their website that features a countdown timer that appears to be counting down to Wednesday, July 20th. While nothing has been officially announced, I imagine Spirit is counting down to this year's new animatronic reveals. But that wasn't the only Spirit news this week. The Halloween retailer also announced the grand opening of their flagship store in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. During the event, guests in attendance will be treated to the exclusive trailer premiere for Spirit Halloween the movie. If that weren't enough, the first 200 guests will also score a Spirit swag bag. The fun kicks off at 9 a.m. on July 30th, with doors opening to the store at 11. And while we're on the subject of animatronics, over the weekend we got confirmation that a leaked Party City animatronic is in fact legit. Over the weekend, images began surfacing online of a life-size creep based on the character from Shudder's Creepshow. Following the leak, show producer Stan Spry took to social media to confirm the leak, sharing, "The creep is out of the bag. Party City will be home to the Creepshow life-size animatronic creep based on the Greg Nicotero design." While no word of when the creep will be available, Spry did say it would be for this Halloween season. Unfortunately, as of the time of this recording, the animatronic still isn't listed on the Party City website, so it's unclear if it will be released online later in the season, or if by chance this is just going to be an in-store exclusive. And the creep isn't the only horror icon getting a new animatronic this Halloween season. This week, Lowe's listed new Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, and Michael Myers animatronics for sale on their website. The new 6-foot animatronics all feature movement and sound. Freddy raises his knife glove and says phrases from the Elm Street franchise. Jason swings his machete and plays spooky sound effects, including the iconic sound. And Michael moves his knife in a stabbing motion while playing an interesting, definitely not the Halloween theme. If you watch it on the website, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's generic Halloween music that is nothing like Halloween, but it is what it is. Anyway, each animatronic is on sale for $239 and can be found now on the Lowe's website. And what's the deal with 12-foot decorations? That was a question asked in a recent hangout with my friends at the Samhain Society, and while I don't know the answer, the trend shows no signs of stopping. Home Depot brought back both of their 12-foot skeletons last month, and last Friday, Lowe's got into the mix with a new 12-foot animated mummy. The all-new mummy comes from Gemmy Industries and features posable arms, creepy sound effects, and an eerie flickering light effect that's available in 4 different LED color options: red, green, blue, or classic warm white. The mummy retails for $348, but like the Home Depot skeletons, was quick to sell out. However, if you want to be notified of a restock, you can visit the product page on Lowes.com, provide your email, and they'll notify you when the 12-foot mummy is available again. That said, Lowe's wasn't the only one to join the 12-foot club this week, because Walmart has gotten into the mix with the 12-foot pumpkin ghoul. Also by Gemmy, this giant ghoul is animated and turns at the waist and features posable arms, and his jack-o'-lantern head features a candle flickering effect to make it look like it's a real jack-o'-lantern. The all-new animated prop is available now through Walmart.com for $299. And this week, comic book fans got some exciting news. Halloween Comic Fest is returning for 2022, albeit as a virtual event. The comic book industry's premier Halloween event hasn't quite looked the same since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. In 2020, the event ditched comics for collectibles and was mostly online. and in 2021 the event was canceled altogether. But this year the event is returning, and while details were limited, we know that this year's event will span the month of October and will feature access to digital comics, interviews with creators, cosplayer profiles, and more. Historically, Halloween Comic Fest is held on the last Saturday in October at participating comic shops. However, Halloween Comic Fest shared that the shift to the virtual event was to make this as accessible to as many fans as possible. No further details were shared, but Halloween Comic Fest plans to share more news and updates on the event in the coming months. And it's not every day that a Halloween and horror convention gets its own theme song, but this year, Midsummer Scream did just that thanks to the Killer Sounds of Halloween creator Sean Keller and his fiancée, genre director Chelsea Stardust. Written and produced by Keller and his son Folsom, the all-new track features Stardust on vocals, and the track has that vintage vibe that so many of the songs on Keller's Killer Sounds of Halloween trilogy of albums have really become known for. The track is available for free from Keller on Bandcamp, but here's a sampling of the song if you want to know what it's all about.
Midsummer Scream, where it's always Halloween. Midsummer Scream. Come on, let me hear you scream.
And if there was one thing I might have loved more than Halloween when I was a kid, it was Legos. So when you marry the two, I'm in heaven. If you've ever visited the About page on allhallowsgeek.com, you likely saw some photos of me with the Frankenstein's monster and mummy minifigures at Legoland, which is why I'm so stoked to hear that the Legoland resorts have some all-new Halloween fun planned for 2022. This fall, Legoland California, Legoland Florida, and Legoland New York will celebrate Halloween with new Lego monster characters, treat stations, spooky decor, entertainment, and the release of an exclusive new 4D movie, The Great Monster Chase. The new 4D movie tells the story of what happens when twins try to crash a party where only monsters are allowed. The experience features exciting chases, tongue-in-cheek humor, wind, bubbles, water, and other special effects to keep guests jumping and laughing in their seats. After the show, the monsters from the movie will come to life in new character meet and greets with Monster Rocker, Zombie Cheerleader, Tiger Woman, Lord Vampire, and more. For full details on this year's event, be sure to check out my full coverage over on allhallowsgeek.com. The party will start here in California every Saturday starting September 17th and running through October 29th. Well, we got quite a few trailers this week, and one in particular that made headlines was Rob Zombies The Munsters. But before we get to that, NECA has unveiled a new set of stylized little big head figures featuring Herman, Lily, and the Count from the film. Each figure measures 5 and 6 inches tall and will be released as a 3-pack in window box packaging. The new figures are expected to ship in the fourth quarter of 2022, and if you want to pre-order yours, I'll share an affiliate link down in the description so you can grab yours from Entertainment Earth. Alright, let's talk trailers. The Munsters trailer, did you see it? If not, you can catch it here on the All Hallows Geek YouTube channel, and then of course come back. But if you followed me for a while, you know I've been excited about this project from day one. I want it to do well, but I'll be honest, this trailer shook my confidence a bit. And honestly, that seems to be the consensus. Bloody Disgusting's editor-in-chief John Squires shared on Twitter that he doesn't think the trailer came from Universal, and Fangoria's Phil Nobile Jr. kind of echoed those remarks, which begs the question, what the heck is going on with this movie? I mean, Zombie has been sharing content left and right from the film, but we've seen almost nothing from official Universal accounts or even Peacock where the film will allegedly stream. And I'll say this, it's not all bad. I love that in the trailer we see that the Transylvania color palette looks like something off the cover of Famous Monsters of Filmland. Whereas when you go later in the trailer and then Suburban America, it's just your normal color. So that contrast is really cool. I also thought Daniel Roebuck's performance as the Count was solid. And again, he's the Count because he's not Grandpa yet, because as we learned from this trailer, this is an origin story. This is Herman and Lily coming together. They aren't the Munsters yet, the family that we know. All that said, I didn't love this trailer. As a longtime fan of the Munsters, I want this to be good. And let's be honest, you can bet your ass I'm still going to watch this regardless. I just hope the final product is stronger than what we saw in the trailer. All right, with the big one out of the way, let's talk real quick about what else dropped this week. And remember, you can catch all of these trailers over on allhallowsgeek.com or just seek them out here on the YouTubes. All right, first up, Netflix dropped the trailer for its action-packed vampire comedy Day Shift. The new trailer finds Jamie Foxx and Snoop Dogg hunting vampires in Los Angeles, like they do. In Day Shift, Foxx plays a hard-working blue-collar dad who just wants to provide a good life for his quick-witted daughter, but his mundane San Fernando Valley pool cleaning job just isn't cutting it. Thankfully, that's just a front for his real source of income, hunting and killing vampires as part of an international union of vampire hunters. Admittedly, this film's not going to be for everyone. I think it looks fun as hell. Day Shift will premiere on Netflix on August 12th. And this week, A24 dropped the second trailer for its summer horror Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. The latest trailer seems to highlight the characters Sophie and Bee, played by Amanda Stenberg and Maria Bakalova, who seem to be at the heart of this hurricane party turned whodunit. Bodies, Bodies, Bodies is coming to theaters August 5th. We also got the trailer for the highly anticipated prequel to the 2009 film Orphan, Orphan First Kill. Isabelle Fuhrman returns as Esther, who, after orchestrating a brilliant escape from an Estonian psychiatric facility, travels to America by impersonating the missing daughter of a wealthy family. Yet, an unexpected twist arises that pits her against a mother who will protect her family from the murderous child at any cost. Orphan First Kill will be available to stream exclusively on Paramount Plus and available to purchase on digital beginning Friday, August 19th, and it will also receive a limited theatrical release here in the US. And rounding out this week's trailers is the theatrical trailer for festival favorite, The Retaliators. An upstanding pastor uncovers a dark and twisted underworld as he searches for answers surrounding his daughter's brutal murder. A high-octane original soundtrack and cameos from some of the biggest names in rock music set the tone as this horror thriller reveals a game of vengeance played using a new set of rules. This film, seriously, looks intense, and it's chock full of rockers you're going to recognize. You've got Jacoby Shaddix, the frontman of Papa Roach, making his acting debut in the film. And then the film features cameos and music by Motley Crue's Tommy Lee, Five Finger Death Punch's Ivan Moody, Zoltan Bathory, and Chris Cale. You've got Papa Roach, Jaya of The Who. You've got Spencer Charnas of Ice Nine Kills, Eva Under Fire's Amanda Leiberg, Matt Brandyberry, Danny Case, Lance Dowdle, and Matt Madiro of From Ashes to New, Corey Marks and Dan Murphy and Miles Franco of All Good Things. And it's all anchored by an original score from the Emmy-winning composers from Stranger Things, Kyle Dixon and Michael Stein. The Retaliators will hit theaters worldwide on September 14th, with the soundtrack hitting stores September 16th, and the soundtrack is led by the Motley Crue single The Retaliators, written by the band's co-founder and bassist Nikki Sixx, and featuring Danny Worsnop from Asking Alexandria, Spencer Charnas from Ice Nine Kills, and Matt Brandyberry from Ashes to New. The single will be released on August 5th, ahead of the film's release. Alright, that's it for this week. As always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, leave me a comment, or better yet, subscribe to make sure you always get your weekly dose of Geek. Also, as a quick reminder, I recently launched a Discord server where you can geek out with fellow Halloween and horror geeks. I also launched a Patreon, so if you're enjoying my content and would like to support it, I'd greatly appreciate it. You can find links to both down in the description below. And for more information on any of this week's top stories, you can always find the full coverage over on allhallowsgeek.com. Until next time, keep it creepy.